because I have figured out how to make the volume go up on the computer. Yes, this is just one of the few benefits that you get from being a member of this wonderful organization. Hi, everybody. I'm Debbie Oystatcher, and I've been a member of CEC in Florida, DCDT, for most of my professional career. And I can tell you for a fact that it has been one of the most invaluable resources ever. Not only access to, the most current information as far as exceptional student education, but also it gave me entree to so many fabulous professionals that I never felt stuck. I never really felt alone because there was always somebody that I could call, like Tara, and say, I don't know how to do these things. Can you help me? And everybody is so giving and so patient. I cannot tell you enough about the benefits of being part of this. The end.
Thanks, Deb. Kim, you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go. My name's Kim Halliday. I'm the transition coordinator for Flagler County Schools. I went back to try and figure out how long I've been a member for DCDT. I must have had a blip in there where my membership lapsed, but while I was working on my doctorate, 2002 is when I joined. I think I joined before then. Nonetheless, that's when I joined as our student representative. So I've been a member of the board, an active member of the DCDT board since 2002. I started basically as their student rep for a bunch of years. Somehow or another got involved as being the treasurer, realized that is not my jam, but moving up through the presidential rankings was definitely a challenge, but also a joy. Putting on this conference is a blast. And that's one of the things that, although Deb really hit the nail on the head with the relationships that we build, the camaraderie that we have, I can also share that putting something on like this, in my experience, has also made me better at my work job, at doing the things that I do on a day-to-day basis, because of the way that we have to kind of maneuver and get creative and work cooperatively with Florida DCDT. So I've been an active member a pretty long time. I think I might be the second longest sitting on the board. Patrick is on the call right now. He's on Zoom with us right now. He is the longest current running member of the FLDCDT board. And I think I've got seconds, not sure. But I'm also available anytime that you guys have questions. You're welcome to reach out to me. I've pretty much held all the roles in DCDT except for secretary.
Thank you, Kim. So that will lead us into Patrick, since Kim gave such a nice segue to use. Do you want to share a little bit about your DCT experience?
I like what Freddie called me. He called me the Godfather. I'm like, just call me Don Corleone from now on. All right. I've got to make a deal you can't refuse. No, I've been a member for, I've lost count. I am currently retired, but DCDT has become a passion of mine, and I really enjoy the camaraderie, like Deb was saying. And of all the members of DCDT, I have been every officer, and was fortunate or unfortunate enough to be the president when we hosted the international conference. And that was quite a few years ago. Some of you may have gone to that, but that was a big thing. But we do more than just this conference. We do a lot of networking, which I find when I was the transition specialist in Broward County, when I was working with the Transition Center at the University of Florida, and with as a RTR with Project 10, the networking was the most important thing, to find out what was going on in other parts of the state and how can you replicate that in where you're working. I mean, it was a big thing when I worked in Broward County, obviously a very large district with, like, at that time, 25 high schools. But to network with someone in a small rural district, maybe with only one high school, if they were able to implement some programs in their high school, I could take that information and see how I could look at trying that in one of the 25 high schools. When you're in a large district, if you can get something started at one school, it will mushroom and go on beyond. But got a lot of ideas from the networking part of this organization, which to me is a very important part. It's great to be on the board. It's great to have put on the conference. As someone said, it builds a lot of teamwork. We learn to rely and trust and do all those on our other members. And it's a good organization. And you don't really have to be on the board to be a member of DCDT. You can just join. It is a subdivision of the Council for Exceptional Children, CEC. But when you join, you get a lot of information. And if you come to the conferences, if you are a member, you do get a discount on your registration. So that helps to pay for it. Thank you, Liz, for giving me the opportunity.
Thanks for sharing. So Cannon, do you want to share a little about your experience?
Hey, actually, it's a good segue because my experience was attending a conference probably about 12 years ago where Patrick bought me a beer and I ended up, on the board the next day. But it's been a great experience. One of the biggest things for me too is, you talk about the networking. I learned, I told someone this the other day because Orange is a big county and we don't have, we have a lot of the resources that some of the smaller counties may not have, but we're there for each other. Once you recognize people year to year, they reach out to you, you reach out to them to get your questions answered. And you just share best practices. That's one thing that exceptional educators do best is borrow from each other. So I didn't say steal, notice, but we borrow from each other on a regular basis, and that's how we get things done. And it's a great practice. So the other thing is I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to reading the research and staying abreast of the best practices. The two resources I use for that most often are the journal that is put out by DCDT. That's a great resource for that. And then Intact, which is Technical Assistance Center. They have a lot of, if you want to stay up on best practices, that's where to go. So it's been a great experience. I've met a lot of nice, really nice people. Freddie's done a great job with this conference. This was a truly big learning curve for many, and they've done a great job putting this on, and I'm happy to be involved.
Thanks. Freddie, would you like to share anything?
No, I think everybody's hitting it on the head here. Carly's the one that recruited me. Have we talked to Carly yet?
Yeah, I was going around the room.
Okay. Carly's the one that recruited me, and it's really great. The publication, because you're part of CEC, so you get publications from CEC. If you serve on the executive board, once you become president too, you get free registration to the national conference. Usually all the past presidents and current myself got to go to the national conference, which gives you more resources. And it's not a very high membership fee, I don't think, to become part of CEC and DCDT. It's not a whole lot of cost. What else can I say? The big part is the lifelong friendships and networking piece, because I could call any one of these folks that are either on the board or even just a member. You don't have to be on the board. You could just become a member, and you help each other out when it comes to problem solving and things of that nature. It's just a fun group to be around.
Okay, so then I'll go to Carly.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Freddie. So I'm Carly Detlefson. I am the current treasurer for Florida DCDT. Patrick was the immediate previous treasurer, and then he termed out, and I'm still trying to get a handle on this whole treasurer thing, but I'm the treasurer for Florida DCDT. Like others have mentioned, I also am a previous past president. I joined the actual board in, I think it was 2016, 17, and came right on the board as vice president. Not sure I would absolutely recommend that to everybody. Join the board and become a member at large first. But it was a great progression of being vice president, president-elect, president, past president. So I don't regret it at all. It was just, you know, for some people, joining as a member at large might be the best place to start. I've been attending Visions conferences though for a couple years, even before that, when I was a transition specialist for a very large district. I was always attending Visions, and it was always the best conference I attended each year. Like others have mentioned, the networking is amazing. The connections you make with people are amazing. The board is a great group. They're like a second little family. We fight like family sometimes, not really though. But it's a great organization to be a part of, and the board it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I mean, there's a lot of work to do, and you gotta pull your weight when it comes to that, but it's also a great group and a lot of fun to be a part of. So we hope you'll join Florida DCDT. We hope that you will become a member at large if you choose to pursue a board position. That would be great. And we look forward to working with you if you become on the board.
Thanks, Carly. And so Tara, who is also one of our like best recruiters, would you like to share?
Yes. So I've been typing some questions and different things like that. I am a big advocate for membership, and it does start. I have a very similar background. I went to one conference with my mentor, Chris Webb, and I attended an annual membership meeting where Deb O, you know, so sweetly had me stand up, and before I knew it, I was agreeing to be the student representative for the board while I was finishing my doctoral degree. But more than anything, if I could, like, in a nutshell, because I am a professional member of, I think, 8 other organizations, this is the only organization that I passionately am on the board for and actively recruit for, because one, it's cheap. So I don't have, like, I don't feel bad telling my students in the college classes I'm teaching for extra credit, if you join DCDT, I'm going to give you, because it's so cheap. There's very few organizations where it has such a low cost, but more importantly are the connections that you make, not just at the annual conference, but throughout the year. Like, I've presented with people. I work with Pat on a different project. And if I'm ever in need, or like Hannah was sharing, just best practices, I know I'm a better me because of this organization. Like, I do my job better. I have access to better resources. I have friends that I can reach out to who are actually in the same field that I am. It's not even a competitive thing. And it's not like just for my little area in Northeast Florida. This is statewide. So hearing what's going on in Broward County or in Pinellas County, it really does help to be able to have like a professional network, because as teachers, it can be exhausting doing what we do. And so I've really just come to rely on this organization for my own professional development. I've learned so much. And that's why when we're talking about doing this membership session, we want to be able to answer these questions, because we're getting ready to start our next new year. We're getting ready to vote in new members. And we know that to be the best organization, we need voices. We need to hear, we need to, have those sharing opportunities. And that only happens when we become members.
Thanks, Tara. And I just wanted to share a little bit. When I first came to DCTD for a conference, the program specialist in my district said, why don't you present and show what you're doing? I didn't even know there was an organization that was related to what I was doing. So when I came, and I think I even said this in my video, is that I found my people. Like, it was so exciting to have that. But not only that, it kind of changed my whole career path, because I was perfectly happy being a teacher in a classroom, but seeing all these other people and what that was going on made me want to do more and move out of the classroom to the district and be able to impact more students and programs and things like that. So it really has been amazing. And I have called on all these people and asked them questions. What are you doing in your county? How are you doing these things? And so you can start off as a member, and those will get you some basic information. And if you would like, I can email you. I put my email in the chat box as well, so you can contact me. It's also on our webpage, and I can email you the basics of what you would get as part of the DCTT, which is the journals that Cannon mentioned, and newsletters from the national, and just different things that are going on in the discount. So you can start off as membership, and then we have our board, and we're going to have a membership meeting. Does anybody have the date? June?
It's June 1st at 3:30 p.m.
So it's going to be a Zoom meeting, and at that membership meeting, we go over our goals and things for the organization, but we also have elections as part of that, and that's where we may have, if anybody wants to be a member at large, and that's where you start off and you just serve on a committee. And Kim, you can add to anything as far as like obligations, but members at large are a member of one of our committees that help plan this conference and working towards that. And then the next are the elected officers, which would be part of the executive board. And we have some, like my position is designated by the president, so I'm appointed to that. If you're a member, there's no additional like commitments to what you need to do. You just get to get the information and be a part of it and attend our membership meeting. If you're on the board, then you participate in one of the committees that are working towards this. We do have monthly meetings for our board as we're planning these events, and there may be some time commitment if you're on one of the committees to meet outside of a board meeting. But it's fun and there's lots of support, and it's nothing that's overwhelming or you're going to feel like you're drowning. So it's a really great opportunity. I think that covers
I would love to see 18 new members by the time my term is up as president. So I'm seeing names. Todd, I know you, Todd. Todd, you can sign up. Sean, Sheila, if you haven't signed up yet. Colleen, Megan, Christy, Karen, Sandy, all you guys, Joseph, you all need to become members, and then you can decide whether or not eventually you want to become members of the board. But we want to increase membership from 82 to 100. I know everybody probably got some stimulus money, so not a whole lot of cost to become a member.
So this is Tara, and I thought maybe, so Carly has pulled up our website that has information about the FLDCDT membership, but there's a great question in the chat about when you click on to become a membership, and I thought maybe would it help if we walked through this process, because for me, I really, I got confused trying to explain this to somebody else, and so I don't know if it would help to click on the link and then walk through the steps of becoming a member.
Definitely, because you don't know where to check sometimes, because you're an overall member of CEC, but then you have to check in other little boxes.
Correct. And I think it might help if we did it. And maybe we could, this would be a great opportunity. Which of our attendees today would like to become a member right now? And we can go through the membership registration with you right now. And we'll obviously, you know, pause recording so there's credit card information or identifying information, but we can walk through the steps right now. This, I feel like I'm home
Sheila
shopping.
wants to become a member now.
So
Use her as a guinea pig.
Tara, do you want me to?
Sheila, if you become a member right now, I will send you the Superman watch that was part of my, it was part of my gift basket I had created for a face-to-face conference. It goes along with Superman t-shirts, but I kept the t-shirt. I'm wearing it underneath.
Carly,
But
that's
this is a
very
brand new
sweet.
Superman watch. So I will send this to you, Sheila Ward.
Okay, Freddie. Tara, do you want me to click on this right here where it says?
Well, here's what I'm wondering. If Sheila, you're volunteering to be our guinea pig, it would probably make more sense if Sheila screen shared and clicked on this, because she'll be the one who's entering her information.
Okay, so
This is
sorry
exciting.
guys, I have bronchitis, so that's why I'm not showing myself.
Aw.
So I need the link.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
to-
up.
Go ahead, Tara. No,
Wanna
go
put
ahead.
it in there?
Go ahead.
It's in the chat box right now. If you click on that,
Okay.
because there's some great questions about like, which track do I choose? And it says, where are you in your professional career? I joined as a student because I was in my graduate program and there's student discounts. So I joined that way, but you can join however, whichever fit.
All
Good
right, can
going,
you
Freddie.
see?
Put poor Sheila on the spot while she's
I know, I was
hacking up
not
a lung.
prepared for this.
Yes, we can
Getting
see
a
your
watch.
gosh.
Look, it's a Superman watch.
Okay, Freddie. Yes, we can
Can
see
you
your
see my
screen.
screen?
You can see your
Yes.
screen. Mhm.
Okay. All right, walk me through my
So you
fearless leaders.
You would choose early career or professional, whichever best fits your description. And yep, you would click on it. And actually, Liz, you might be even better to. These are the different membership levels. And you'll see, I think there was another question in the chat, like what other opportunities are there to network aside from the annual visions conference? When you become a member of CEC, these are also all of the resources you receive by becoming a member of CEC. So there is like a package deal in terms of research journals, conference discounts, and all of this fun stuff. So depending on, I don't know if you want to be put on the spot, which one. I chose basic because again, graduate student, that's the most I was looking at. And even now as a new mom, basic is the best thing to describe where I'm at.
Yeah, most people choose
Most people
basic.
do basic. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can always upgrade later.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll do that then.
So if you are not a current member, this is where you would create a new account. And so you would choose the bottom, create a new account. I think you have to click on create a new account first. Yeah. And then you would fill in this. So this is where maybe you don't have to screen share and show, because I don't think we necessarily.
Figure out how to get in. If you could
Uh-huh.
record what you have to, or do a screenshot, not your credit card information, but the screenshot where you check the box. You know what I'm talking about? Help me out,
do.
Tara. If you do a screenshot of the box that you have to check to become a DCDT member for us and send it to us, because we're all members, so we can't do the screenshot. That's the part that Tara's talking. I got confused. Where do I check the DCDT box?
Okay.
So if you do a screenshot, you'll still get the watch. And I'll
All
take you
right,
out to
thanks,
eat.
Freddie.
If you're in Parish, I'll take you out to eat.
So Tara, I just restarted the recording. I wasn't even thinking about it once we stopped sharing with Sheila's screen, but
Okay.
if you just wanted to show the rate again down below.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'm going to go actually back to, so here we were on the, actually, let me go back again. This is where we were looking at the different membership levels. We've got basic, full, and premier. And we were scrolling down to, let's say see, this one still shows that though.
I'm still working on it. I have to sign back in to try to get my password.
No worries. So we're on the CEC website, and under get involved and under engage, it says special interest divisions. That's how we got to this page. And this is where all of the different special divisions are listed. And it says right here, only CEC members are eligible to join the divisions, which is why in order to become a member of DCDT, you would first need to be a member of CEC. That's why we're on the CEC website. But here's the breakdown of division rates that we were just looking at when Carly started recording again. And I mean, these are all the special interest divisions. Ours is right here, Division on Career Development and Transition. And there was a question in the chat from, I think, Joe. I at that time when I became a member, I was in my doctoral program. So I selected student, even though I was teaching. And all that you would need to do is on your application, it's going to ask you where you're a student and when your anticipated graduation date. So if it's a master's degree, a specialist degree, it just needs to know what the name of your institution and your anticipated graduation date. But you would still be eligible for the student rates.
Hey guys, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I am on the website for the CEC, and it gives me the option as a drop down for the Division on Career Development and Transition, and it's $35, but there's nothing for the Florida one. And of course, Tara, my page looks totally different than what you have.
So do you want to screen share? And because I think I know where you are, and if you want to screen share, Karen, we can walk you through it. But just so you would be signing up for DCDT. You wouldn't even need to select Florida because that's, so
Okay.
we have, those are our state chapters. Am I saying that right, Liz?
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
All right.
There's no membership fee for Florida.
right.
Right.
It was-
Right.
Okay. Beautiful.
It's
As
just the
long as
general.
Mhm.
as long as you guys get credit.
Yeah, no, you're joining the national DCDT, and then as a part of
Okay.
that, you're a part of your state chapter.
All right, then
I'm
I'm
just
good.
excited to see you on here, Karen. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm so well. Yeah, you're here. I know it's good, right?
Yeah.
Oh, because I wasn't enough for you,
Carly, I
Karen?
love you. You're
Oh my
like awesome.
gosh.
Karen and I go way back.
Way back.
So Megan, this is such a great question. If I'm already a member and part of the DCDT division, then how do you become a part of the planning committee or a member at large? This is such a great question. So Megan, for your question, you're already a CEC member and you're already a member of DCDT. You would attend our June 1st member meeting and we would explain. Kim's going to do a great job explaining the bylaws, which sound boring, but they're actually not, because they tell you what it is we do and each individual and what the committees do. And I get very excited about that because I like being transparent and knowing what I'm signing up for. But that's how you would find out about becoming a member large or joining a conference planning committee. I'd love to be a part of the conference planning committee. That's what we are exploring on June 1st.
Well, Cannon needs to know also because he develops the slate of officers, which includes the board of directors and members at large. So Cannon, I hope you got Megan's name and contact information to develop your slate. See, add her on. It's real simple.
So actually, I'm glad you said that, Pat, because I will probably be sending it out to all our participants for visions. And ask them to sign up if they're not already a member. And then for those that are a member, asking them if they would like to serve in a higher capacity. So yeah, I'll take care of that.
June
This may
1st
be
is
a-
June 1st at 3:30. A Zoom link is going to be sent out to all members for the, help me out, guys. Tongue-tied.
Our annual membership
Annual
meeting.
membership meeting. And so this might seem like obvious, but I'm a part of, like Tara, a bunch of other boards, and sometimes others don't realize that this is a given. But to be a board member to Florida DCDT, obviously you must be a member of DCDT. So to be on the board and be a member at large or hold an officer position, you have to first be obviously a member of DCDT.
And Megan, you can be nominated during the meeting as well, or nominate yourself during the meeting. We're a not so formal bunch. We go through the process, but we absolutely would welcome you to join and say, hey, I'm interested in becoming a board member, and we add you to the slate.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Karen, did that answer your question? I want to make sure that we,
Yeah, I'm a member.
yay, look at that.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
And yeah, it came out. Yeah, it did pretty good because they added an $8 fee for becoming a Florida CEC member. I don't care. It's all good.
Well, hang on. This is the kind of stuff that what is that?
So basically, what's your email? I can send you my invoice.
It's t.row@unf.edu. That would be great. Because what we're trying to do and what I've been really, strategically trying to clarify is the steps to becoming a member so that it's not so complicated. That like Megan was a great example. She wanted to be a member, I think 3 years ago, but got lost in the becoming a member of CEC and then finding the special interest divisions. I had no idea it had expanded to like that kind of level of complexity until she explained it to me. So it really helps to know this so that we know as members.
Yeah, the only thing I selected was the Division on Career, the basic membership, and the DCDT, and it added a Florida Council for Exceptional Children $8 charge. So I'll show it to you. I'll get it to you.
Yeah, I'm reading this.
And Karen, I put Tara's email address in the chat box. I heard you ask for it, so it's in the chat.
Thank you very much.
Do you guys have any other questions or want to know more about anything that we could help with? Well, and if you would like additional information, you can email myself. I'll put my email in there again, or anyone on our board, and we're happy to help. And, or if you want to talk more about the positions or the things, I know any of us would also be happy to speak with you individually. And I think that's everything. And thanks everybody for
So
coming.
lifelong friendships is what we have to emphasize. The group of people that you see on the screen right now, Liz and Tara and Deb O and Kim and Carly and Pat and Cannon, we are lifelong friends. Beyond this, we have fun after hours too at conferences, and it's just a good group of people. Deb makes me laugh. Deb O makes me laugh. She'll make you all laugh. It's just a good it's a good feeling to be part of this organization.
Somebody had asked about which chapter to select. So there's local chapters in each area. If you don't know what your local chapter is, I think it lets you not pick one. I know mine is like the Sunset chapter.
Right, but that's for your CEC,
But
so there
that's
may
the
not be a
CEC part of
chapter.
it.
There may
It
not
should let
be
you
a
go
chapter.
ahead without picking one.
Exactly. You know, I'm old fashioned. Sometimes filling it out on paper and mailing it in is much less complicated.
And that's the way I did it, Pat, because it was confusing to get online. So maybe, like Tara, maybe we should come up with a video, and maybe this is something for the board to talk about. Maybe we do a freebie so we can look at how the process works or something. I don't know.
So I think there's a question in there. Anyone know the chapter for Polk County? So I want to make sure I'm understanding this. Liz, when we're signing up, you're saying from the CEC side, or is this from the DCDT side?
From the CEC side.
That's what I thought.
They want to affiliate you with a local chapter.
Okay. How would somebody find out what their chapter is?
They should be able to call CEC directly and say, I don't know if it's on their website that shows where everybody is.
But you don't need to know that to join.
I don't think you do.
You can send it in without putting a chapter number in. And what will happen is when you get your membership card back from CEC, it'll give you the local chapter.
That's okay. That's good to know, because I'm on it and I'm trying to see more specifically what that's describing.
Yeah, I don't, like, for example, mine is just a statewide number because there is no local chapter in Volusia Flagler. There was, but not anymore. So they'll just sign you a statewide number.
Okay.
So Tara, you see that somebody else just joined in and also charged them the additional Florida charge.
Yep. I made a note of it. So that's, I want to include that in, if we're doing a video of walking through the steps, that that's included, because I've never heard of it. But if it sounds like it's on the CEC side.
Right. I never heard of a Florida charge.
Yeah.
That's something new for all of us.
Yep. Sandy had it as well. Okay. And just so everybody knows, Freddie had to hop out because he had to open the main room for the closing keynote.
But that's a good thing to know. If there's an $8 Florida charge, do we get a part of that as the Florida DCDT?
Well, I think it's for Florida CEC.
It's for CEC.
Oh, okay.
That is a good question.
I think Florida CEC is cashing in on that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but that's the old treasurer in me. Show me the money. Show me the money.
That's right.
It's not working.
I know. I'm looking at the link you included, Liz.
It's not letting me into it though.
Yeah.
It says Florida chapters, but the link doesn't work to the list. Sorry. And all the other ones they have listed, it's blocked here at work because they're Facebook related. So somebody else might be able to get into it.
What do you mean for Facebook related?
All the other Google things for Florida CEC are Facebook accounts, and I can't access them from my school site.
So Joseph, we can send you the names of other people in Polk County though, can't we, Liz?
Sure.
Yeah, so we can identify other people in Polk County for you to network with there, which is a good resource to have. But if it's like Orange, they're members on paper, but they're not real active as a individual chapter. Although I do know that they've done some things collaborated with Best Buddies and some other initiatives like that, service projects, that type of thing.
So Colleen asked about how do you designate to be a member at large? So you don't necessarily do that on your application. You just join CEC and DCDT. And then if you want to be on the board of Florida DCDT as a member at large, then come to the membership meeting on June 1st at 3:30 or reach out to Cannon to make sure that your name is on the slate for nomination to the board. Cannon, you want to put your email in the chat box? People can reach out to you if they want to join as a member at large. Thank you. So Cannon's email's in the chat. You can email Cannon because he puts together our 21-22 board slate. Any other questions for folks? We're nearing 10:15. We've got about 4 more minutes, and then I know we all need to kind of hop into the closing session for the conference. Any additional questions?
And I'm sending you an email. Please, please, please check it.
Joe said, I think I joined.
Hey, we'll find out.
Sandy has joined. And Colleen said she was going to join when she could get her purse out of the car. But
Well,
one of her
thank you all
teachers
for
joined.
joining.
Yeah. Debo, any closing words of encouragement? You're muted still.
Unmute.
You know, what I can tell you is this. Whenever I leave a Visions conference, I have absolutely the most warmest feeling inside. I feel renewed, I feel enthusiastic, and I'm excited. And I hope every one of you feels the same way. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization, and I wish you all the best from the rest of the day.
That's the perfect closing. So thank you all for coming, and we'll see you in the closing session.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, hands
Welcome.
up, everybody.